Snakes open their mouth all the time. Sometimes it's for defense. Sometimes they yawn, just like people do. And of course, when it's feeding time, a snake's gotta do what a snake's gotta do.
Help me!
Who's hungry?
But if your snake's opening their mouth more and more, they might be sick. And that's when you need advice from a reptile vet. I'm Dr. Balderrama and welcome to Happy Healthy Herps, where in each video we talk about different ways to keep your turtles, tortoises, lizards, amphibians,
What about snakes?
and snakes happy and healthy. So click on the little frog to subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any great content. So if your snake keeps opening his mouth frequently, know this. That is always abnormal. It could be due to an abscess, an infected tooth, a problem with their tongue, a foreign body like substrate, or maybe it's too hot in the tank. And too much heat can be deadly. Another problem is stomatitis, a bacterial infection in the mouth, commonly called mouth rot.
Yeah, baby!
But the most common reasons for snakes opening their mouth again and again is due to a lower respiratory infection. So how do you know if your snake has a respiratory infection? Usually you'll see reddish, mucousy, or foamy discharge coming from the mouth. They may be lethargic or not interested in food. You may see them with their head or their neck frequently extended, sometimes called glass surfing.
First you were all like, whoa, and then we were like, whoa, and then you were like, whoa.
You may also hear abnormal sounds like wheezing or gurgling, or noises that resemble crackles and pops, not to be confused with the Rice Krispie elves, snap, crackle, and pop. Medically, these terms are known as stertor and stridor, not to be confused with this strider, who coincidentally also like to hang out with elves. So how did your snake get a respiratory infection? Well, sometimes it's caused by bacteria or a virus, sometimes parasites, or inappropriate substrates like cedar. Sometimes it's due to all the ammonia that builds up from their urates
Science!
when you haven't cleaned the snake cage often enough.
Ew.
It can also be caused by inappropriate cage cleaners, like too much concentrated bleach, but usually snakes get a respiratory infection from opportunistic bacteria that happens when their immune system is suppressed, usually by inappropriate temperatures and humidity levels in the enclosure.
I don't like sand.
So check those temperatures and check that humidity. Now, respiratory infections in snakes can be serious and life-threatening. So if you suspect your snake has a respiratory infection, take them to a vet as soon as possible. In order to properly diagnose your snake with a respiratory infection and recommend the best treatment, your vet may need to run some blood work and take some x-rays. However, the best test to diagnose a respiratory infection is called a tracheal wash, and that's where a veterinarian inserts a tube down your snake's trachea in order to collect a lung sample. With that sample, your vet may want to perform a culture and sensitivity
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
to determine which antibiotics would be most effective. Speaking of treatment may also include fluids, especially if your snake's dehydrated, and nutritional support, especially if they're anorectic, and possibly deworming as well. And yes, this treatment can be expensive, but unlike a human medical doctor, your veterinarian can't just ask your snake routine questions to try to figure out what might be going on. It's not like we learned parcel tongue in vet school. Although it would be nice.
Can you hear me?
Remember, respiratory infections in snakes are usually quite advanced by the time the owner notices them. So don't let your snake get so sick to the point where they can't even breathe. Remember, snakes don't have a diaphragm muscle, so it's difficult for them to expel any mucus, debris, or other junk that gets in the lungs. So as soon as you see any discharge coming from the mouth, schedule a veterinary visit right away. I mean, imagine if that was your friend. You'd take them to a doctor, right? But if you can't get to a vet right away, one thing you can do at home is increase the temperature. Each snake species should have their own preferred optimal temperature zone, which is a range of temperatures that is part of their normal natural habitat. If your snake is showing any signs of respiratory disease, put the temperatures on the high end of the preferred optimal temperature zone and adjust the humidity accordingly, depending on if your species thrives well in a humid environment. If you have any doubts or questions, talk to your veterinarian. If you need recommendations for a good reptile vet, make sure you check out the website of the Association of Reptile and Amphibian Veterinarians. On there, you should find a link where to find a reptile vet near you. So that's it. Please let me know in the comments section if you have any questions. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like and notification bell so you don't miss out on any great content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.